Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Lyco Gaming back with another stream, and today we're gonna be reacting to The Truth by Jareem himself, bro. He's actually gonna talk about some of the things that happened that he hasn't given any answers on. So without further ado, let's get it.
I'm going to be very vulnerable, open, and honest. I go into my past, I go into controversies, and I also debunk various vulnerable.
That's what he used to look like?
Honest. I go into my past, I go
Holy
into
shit.
controversies, and I also debunk
He
very
was a big
serious
boy.
lies about me, including by involving the police, legal teams, and extensive research. It will get uncomfortable. I will get into details of my life that you probably don't want to hear, and I don't particularly want to share either, but it feels necessary given the circumstances, and honesty and truth is my top priority. As you guys
That's
have probably
crazy.
noticed, I took a long break from YouTube, and since the face reveal, I've hardly really uploaded. And I've really focused on other things
'Cause
and
you
separated
regret it.
myself from a lot of the stuff I was doing before. You may think that this was due to the hate from the face reveal, or for
Yes,
other
it's
reasons,
probably
but
that.
really there was something else that happened right after the face reveal, and it really made me step back from what I was doing and have a lot less passion. If you've been on the internet recently, you've probably heard or seen some pretty crazy stuff about me. Whether it's the voice actor of Gumball attacking me, or accusations against me regarding grooming, you've probably heard a lot of pretty crazy stuff. I
That's
thought it's
crazy.
extremely important for me to make this video and provide as much information as I
Gumball
can. And I just want to right
called
off the
him a
bat state
slur,
as
and
clearly
then
as I
still
can
winning.
that these allegations are not true. I plan on going to extreme detail to prove that in this video. And to all the people that
Wait,
are
what did he
spreading
say?
these
What did he say?
allegations are not true, I plan on going to extreme
okay.
detail to prove that in this video. And to all the people that are spreading lies, fabricating stories, and making false accusations for fun,
Who said something about Bad
that
Boy
in this
Halo?
video. And to all the people that are spreading lies, fabricating stories.
They were groomed by Bad Boy Halo? What? Oh my god.
And making false accusations.
Making false allegations hurts real victims and causes people to doubt them. Wow.
For fun, or because they think it's funny.
I don't care. I accept that I'm a
Jesus,
horrible
man.
person.
This is not funny. This is not a joke. This is people's lives, ranging from my own, my family, my employees, to actual victims that stories won't be heard or believed in the future because of this. I understand that some things in this video are much more important than others, so I split this video up into chapters, and you can skip to and watch the parts that are most important to you. I will say that everything in this video is very relevant. I think they're all vital topics to include because they help clear up my character. So yeah, the video has
Yeah,
chapters.
they
if you
help
wanna
clear
skip
your
around, there's a
character.
pinned comment. And again, I realize that nothing in this video is as important as me talking about serious allegations, so I've made it really easy to skip ahead to whatever is most important to you. Just because there's other stuff doesn't mean anything is less important. Monetization on this video is on, but every dollar will go to a charity that's linked in the description.
Are you gonna
Otherwise,
prove
I
it?
want to start with the biggest lie I have ever told.
Oh, hey, what's
The
up? There's
fake
someone in
photo
chat.
was me. Of course, it's from when I was really young and I've lost a lot of weight since then, and it wasn't at all representative of what I look like now, but it was me. Obviously, I said many times that it wasn't, and a lot of people have and still do use that against me to say that I'm dishonest, but the reason I lied about that is because of the face reveal. I'd been planning the face reveal for years. I sacrificed so much by staying inside and avoiding cameras for so long. I mean, I had covers on all my windows, and even to go to the dentist, I left hiding in the back of a car and went to a different state. Yes, I was paranoid. I wasn't gonna
What
let
the
anyone
fuck?
take that moment away from me. Whatever I had to do to make sure that moment was suspenseful and exciting, I'm sure I would have done. And if anything, the face leak photo probably ended up creating more suspense and excitement to see if I was lying or if I actually looked like the leaked picture. Now, of course, there was a lot of personal information attached to the leaked picture, how it was found, where it was leaked from, so that definitely contributed to why I lied about it. I didn't lie because I was ugly or because I was overweight or anything like that. And every time I talked about the leaked picture, I always mentioned that I struggled with my weight in the past and that it's disheartening to see people make fun of the poor kid for that, which obviously I was the poor kid. And I think that's something I'm willing to admit now because I face revealed. I'm not risking that big moment anymore. And I also feel much more comfortable about my personal information and how I look and so on. The day the face leak was posted, I was playing a Minecraft tournament and someone called the SWAT team on me.
Dream is AFK.
I'm clear here.
I was put in handcuffs on my front lawn with cops with rifles pointing at me, and I was pretty much swatted from that day on almost daily, to the point where the reason Sapnap moved in with me before my face reveal was to answer the door when police showed up. Because people started camping outside with cameras to try and reveal my face, and I needed someone else to answer the door. When the people that were doxing me thought that they had the wrong address, my family ended up getting swatted. And my mom answered
Jesus,
the door
man.
thinking that it was pizza for her and my little sister. They were held at gunpoint with police helicopters circling the neighborhood. People
Jesus.
showed up at my house. People showed up at my family's house. The first time I ever got swatted, I made sure not to mention it at all, Funnily enough, I actually got interviewed by a SWAT team member while I was muted and playing Minecraft parkour with the SWAT officer right next to me. But yeah, it's just all to show that even though I was very adamant about denying the face leak, it was much more about the fact that there was so much personal information attached to the picture, and I wanted as much separation from it as possible. It had nothing to do with how I look. I'm very proud of my weight loss story, and I was never ashamed about it at all. I think that it's very encouraging to see people accomplish weight loss. I did it all naturally. I lost hundreds of pounds. You have not seen me at my heaviest. And it's one of those things that I think is very encouraging to others. I love inspiring people, so it's a story I'm sure I'll tell in the future. But in that moment, it was not the right time to tell it. I feel like right now it's still kind of uncomfortable to talk about it, but it's annoying seeing the same damn picture. So here's some other pictures of me from before I lost weight, just so there's more variety.
That's you,
Now moving
bro?
on to one of the most talked about
That's
cases,
you?
the cheating scandal.
That's you, bro.
Now moving on to one of the most
Congrats,
talked about
for real.
cases, the cheating scandal. I'm going to be pretty concise with this one because it's been covered a million times and most of you are probably pretty sick of hearing about it, but it's still really important to talk about. It's one of the most frequent reasons people point to as to why not to trust me. I did unintentionally cheat on a speedrun that I officially submitted to the leaderboards in 2020, and the speedrun mods were completely in the right for taking it down. I was using a disallowed mod for about a week on my live streams when a new version of Minecraft came out, and I was unaware that this mod existed. When I was defending myself, I didn't know that I'd been using the mod, and it's a really complicated and lengthy explanation of how it's very reasonable that I didn't know that I had the mod, so I can't go into that here. A lot of people say that it's impossible that I wouldn't have known that I was so lucky, but those people don't realize that it was a little bit of luck over a very long period of time and not a lot of luck at once. It was actually only uncovered by a cheater themselves, who later got exposed for doing that same thing in the past.
Yes, that's right, Minecravenger. The very same person that first publicly exposed Dream for cheating in his runs has just been caught cheating himself. And not only cheating once, but cheating multiple world records over a span of more than 2 years.
I was defending myself so confidently publicly because me and a developer had already considered and ruled out the possibility that I could have been using a mod. Carl Jobst, a very well-respected YouTuber that also investigates speedruns, made a video going into all the details. It's over an hour long. If you'd like to watch it to understand how that could happen and all the supporting evidence around it, you can. He is very critical of me in it, but here's his short conclusion that backs up what I'm saying from after his thorough investigation.
In conjunction with all of the evidence I've seen, I believe the essence of what Dream was claiming in his paste bin was probably true. In my opinion, it is definitely more likely that he really didn't know his drop rates and barter rates were modified. Was it intentional? And I do believe that it probably wasn't.
He did a lot of research and interviewed a lot of people to come to that conclusion. He interviewed the mod team, me, developers, and a lot more. He even said something afterwards that applies to a lot of the situations I'm going to talk about today, so I'm going to go ahead and play that clip too.
In one breath, people will complain that Dream is a liar, and then in the next, spout made-up assumptions that couldn't be further from the truth. It seems like everyone is lying everywhere.
I'm still fully responsible for my behavior back then towards the moderators, regardless of my intentions, and I did act like a little baby and caused the majority of the problems myself, so I'm sorry. Regardless of if you believe me or if you think that I'm being dishonest, since this all happened over 3 years ago, a lot has changed since, and I've done my best to move forward and grow as a person. I did my best to make amends with the mods. I apologized privately and publicly for lashing out at them. I donated over $50,000 to the speedrun community through tournaments and personal donations to over 15 different speedrunners. I voluntarily took down all my speedrun times, even ones that had nothing at all to do with the mod or the cheating scandal. I also deleted my original response video, and I haven't speedrun officially since. It's been over 3 years. Now that that's out of the way, I want to clear up some quick misinformation around it. One, it had nothing to do with my manhunt videos or any video or speedrun I have ever posted on my YouTube channel. It was specifically live streamed attempts that I did during a 1 week or so period over 3 years ago. It's a common misconception that the cheating had to do with my YouTube channel, manhunt, or any other videos I posted. Two, I didn't hire a fake astrophysicist to defend me, which is also commonly said. Knowing nothing about math, but fully believing in my innocence at the time, given the accusation was purely based on math, I used a website for math freelancers and reached out directly to a highly qualified professor that said they'd be willing to help me. They even made one of their conditions before agreeing that no matter what their conclusion was, I had to publish their results, even if their conclusion was that I was guilty. I agreed to this.
Dream briefly explained the situation, and the expert agreed to help. The expert provided Dream with a few terms, one of them being that Dream post the results no matter the outcome.
Obviously, the report ended up getting ripped to shreds, but I had no idea that would be the case. I knew absolutely nothing about math, and I fully believed in my innocence. So when a highly qualified third party was agreeing with me, it made me even more confident and bold. There was many factors as to why the report ended up being bad, partially due to the public pressure and it being rushed, partially due to them not knowing as much about Minecraft as the mod team did. But regardless, I didn't bribe or make up a fake astrophysicist, which is something people frequently say. The speedrun mod team and many other parties independently verified their credentials and the fact that they exist. I also put way more information in the description on this, just for transparency's sake, including proof about the professor, all of my emails to them, and even screenshots of messages that I never provided in the past. I think that's really important to clear up because it's used very, very frequently to say, if he will go as far as to make up a fake astrophysicist to lie, lie, how far will he go with other lies? And I would just like to point out that even though I didn't lie, lying about a Minecraft speedrun is very different than lying about very serious allegations. The next thing I'm going to talk about is a pretty big one that you might not have heard about, but it's a pretty important one. Manatreed.
Wow.
Now, if you don't know who Manatreed is a content creator that I added to my server, the Dream SMP, a couple years ago. They were anonymous like me, and they had a very short career. There was a thread made about Manatreed saying that they doxed him and that he was an IRL friend of mine, had been charged with domestic violence, and that I was trying to hide it. Manatreed was removed from the SMP by me, all of his accounts were deleted, and I made a statement talking about how I don't support domestic violence, I wasn't aware of any domestic violence, and that due to how complicated the situation was, I decided to remove Manatreed from the SMP. I also strongly alluded to the fact that the doxed information was incorrect. Everything I just said was true, except for the fact that Manatreed was my childhood best friend. I came up with the name Manatreed, I made the accounts, I grew up with him, his grandparents were like my grandparents, he was like family to me. The criticism I get to this day related to this is that I intentionally housed and hid an abuser. Because Manatreed was faceless and anonymous like me, people said that it was planned deliberately in order to hide a domestic violence charge. This is not true. In late 2020, he had a lot of problems. He was struggling with homelessness, had been in multiple recent car accidents. I knew I could help him, so I did. I offered him a place to stay, I paid for his groceries and gas for a while, and eventually I came up with the idea to add him to my server. He was my childhood friend, I trusted him, and he wasn't a risk. I was anonymous, so obviously if I wanted to play games with him, his identity couldn't be known, or it would leak my identity. Whenever the thread first came out saying that Manatreed abused his girlfriend, I responded emotionally, calling people gullible, because I didn't believe that someone I had known for so long and grew up with could do anything like that. And at the time, although no one knew, he lived with me in Sapnap, so it seemed crazy that he could somehow hide it from us. I jumped the gun and reacted emotionally. Only later did I properly look into everything, and I apologize. After I confronted Manatreed in real life, he claimed that he wasn't an abuser, that he had just had an altercation with another guy, and that his ex-girlfriend got in the middle of it. He claimed that he never hit her, that he had just caught her cheating and was fighting the guy that she was cheating with, that the cops got called, and that he got arrested. This is just what he said. This altercation would have taken place around a year before he moved in with us, and I had no knowledge of it. People thought that domestic violence took place when he lived with us because my address was on a court document of his, but that was far after when he was on probation and had to tell the court where he currently lived. He also lied to us and told us that he was on probation for smoking weed in order to not have us question anything suspicious related to it. Even though he claimed to me that he wasn't abusive to anyone, I couldn't just take him for his word, and so I did research myself. I reached out to his ex-girlfriend and talked to her about it all. She wouldn't really say that much. She said to give Manatreed the best wishes for his future, and that his mistakes were behind her, and that she just wanted to be left alone online. I don't want to push her for information, so because of that, I didn't feel comfortable having Manatreed on the Dream SMP anymore. I didn't have full confidence that he was being honest with me because he had already lied to me, and I was also still faceless and really didn't want to have to dox myself to explain the situation. I decided the best idea would just be to remove him from the server. I had created all of the accounts, so I completely shut them down and removed his access. That meant that there was absolutely no risk that, even if he was lying, he would ever cause future harm because of me. Unfortunately, this wasn't a cut and dry situation. This was one of my childhood best friends.
That's fucked up, bro. What the actual fuck?
And had lied to me in Sapnap. And
That's
unfortunately, due to
that's
all of
fucked
this,
up.
I have no contact with him and lost someone that was like family to me. I'll never know the exact truth behind everything. The person that I knew was kind, generous, and compassionate, and I never would have added him to the server if I thought he was anything otherwise. But what I do know is that, other than my initial crude response, I stand by my actions. I think that I navigated a really complex situation the best that I could. I got rid of any risk, supported a victim, made it clear that I didn't support domestic violence, even to the detriment of one of my oldest friendships. I completely understand people that don't know my side of this situation, assuming that this makes me a liar and that it's obvious that I was covering up wrongdoing. I even had creators that thought this until they talked to me about it. It's not unreasonable at all, and that's why I figured I had to talk about it in this video, even if it is personal and uncomfortable. Before I jump into the most important things I'm going to address, I want to talk about something that's come up a lot due to these allegations, and something that's commonly said to give credibility to me being a bad or weird person. I'm going to play a clip from Moist Critical, who talked about the allegations pretty neutrally, to his credit. But while talking about them, he said this.
Dream's audience has always been on the younger side of things, and yet Dream constantly engages with them in very inappropriate ways, such as like posting thirst traps. He does post thirst traps, even knowing that his fans are children. So when these claims come out, I think a lot of people start to take them at face value because they're like, oh, that sounds like the Dream that I know. This sounds like something Dream might do, so it's probably true. Even though right now a lot of the evidence backing it up isn't the strongest.
Now, before I talk about this, I just want to ask that if you're watching this and you share the same opinion, try and give me the benefit of doubt. Genuinely listen to what I have to say and discard your preconceived biases. Because yeah, if you think someone's creepy and then they're accused of being a creep, it clearly changes how you think. So I'm going to break down multiple things that Charlie said because I respect him. I respect his opinion. I think he's a super reasonable guy and I think he's an awesome content creator. One of the things that he said is that I post creepy pictures and thirst traps.
He does post thirst traps.
So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about. Uniquely, because I didn't reveal my face until last year, I can actually pretty reasonably show you every photo and video of myself that I've ever posted on the internet. So they're gonna start scrolling by now in a completely random order. While you watch, it's important to note that what you post on something like Snapchat is very different than something you'd post on Instagram or Twitter. Snapchat runs ads every 5 or 6 photos and encourages you to post upwards of 100 photos or videos a day to have the most growth and make the most money. They only last 24 hours like an Instagram story. So on Snapchat, you kind of just spam anything. So for me, it's silly filters, my cat, whatever food I'm eating that day. If I get a haircut. Because of that, it's
What was
silly
that?
filters, my cat. Whatever.
Why did he start scrolling so fast? Is there anything sus?
You kind of just spam
Jesus. He looks fucking...
anything. Oh, for me, it's silly filters.
Oh, shit. I think something was blurred there.
Me, it's silly
Goated Uber driver. You do realize, brother, like when you send someone a snap, it's in their DMs. Like it doesn't stay in your memories unless you save
whatever
it.
food I'm eating that day. If I get a haircut. Because of that, it's much easier.
He's explaining it like he doesn't know what Snapchat's about.
To take one silly photo from Snapchat out of context and make it out to be something that it's not. On top of that, there's a lot of fake accounts that I think people fall for all the time. They post thirst trap captions using my photos, and with how many likes they get, there's a lot of people that casually scroll Twitter and think their posts are mine. There's one specific one that was extremely popular and verified before it was suspended. It posted tweets like this, and this, and this. These are just completely normal photos I posted of myself with no caption, but they repost them and put a weird
Wow.
caption. This has fooled tons of people, including people that have made pretty big videos about me, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if Charlie saw this account a couple times and thought its tweets were mine. A lot of people also say stuff like this,
I don't know why he still uses Snapchat. It's still kind of weird. I told you, if you're a grown man using Snapchat,
which I think is super reasonable to think. If you don't know that there's creator accounts now that work very differently to normal Snapchat accounts, you can promote stuff to millions of people through Snapchat's algorithm, and even as of recently, you can make a lot of money, obviously encouraging you to post whatever random stupid photo you took.
I mean, I
How
hardly
do you
even
do
log
it?
into my Snapchat myself and even have someone else completely run the account
How?
because there's a manager account feature where I can just post from my personal Snap and never even see any of the messages. I also sometimes have people say that I'm weird because of fan art account likes from my fan art account. So I just want to clarify, I'm not the one behind 99% of the likes. I've never made that public because it is beneficial for artists for people to think that it's me every time. But again, when it's being used against me to say I'm creepy, I have to clarify.
Hi, so I've ran Dream's public Snapchat since January 2022. There's nothing weird and he doesn't really even log into it. I also run his fan art account and have been
That's weird. The Snapchat, he doesn't log into it like that. That's weird. That's suspicious.
since January 2022 as well. I'm good friends with Dream and the Dream team, so he thought I'd be a good pick to run it. I mostly just like and retweet art. I'm banished from replying. Sometimes people will call him creepy for stupid stuff that I've liked, and I've never really taken it seriously because I just think what's being depicted in the art is funny to me, like DNF kissing art or something, because I'm their friend and it makes me laugh. It just happens to be really good art. But when it's being used to say that Dream is creepy or weird, I feel really bad because he's definitely not. There's been times that he's messaged me and told me to unlike something or asked why I was on a DNF liking spree. And he's definitely a silly guy, but people shouldn't use me liking art that I found funny or just thought was
What is DNF? Hold on, bro. Let me make sure that it's not like fucking porn or something. Oh my god, what the fuck? Well, I'm glad that I didn't show it.
impressive artistically against him.
I can still be more careful about what's liked on the account though, and I also can re-clarify my boundaries, which I do at the end of this video. But I will just say here that I've never supported not safe for work art of minors or from minors. I think that that's weird and gross, and I clarify my boundaries on myself later in the video.
He
but
said, I think it's
generally
weird and
just,
gross.
I don't want anything weird drawn of me.
He's
I also
trying
later had
to
the person who used
save
to
his
run the account
name
back in 2020
as
say
much as
something well.
possible.
But yeah,
Like 1 out of every 1,000 Snapchats I post, people end up spreading and making fun of, which is fine, of course. But it's when it's made out to be weird that it's disingenuous. Now, that's not to say that I'm posting the exact same thing as everyone else, or that what I'm posting isn't different than other people. It definitely is. I was faceless for a very long time, never took pictures of myself, and had no social media before YouTube. So you're seeing literally my first time ever taking pictures, and I am just a little goofy. Again, it's fine to make fun of. Like, some of these pictures are stupid, but using them as evidence that I'm weird or making them out to be weird just isn't fair. I don't really take myself seriously. I don't think I'm super attractive. I don't think I'm super funny. I think a lot of people misunderstand some of the things that I post that are satire. A lot of my videos before I did Minecraft challenges were satire videos, and I still post a lot of satire. A perfect example of this is my unface reveal. I posted a video on my channel where I unrevealed my face. It's a satire video. I have my 2 best friends burst down my door, tell me that I'm ugly and to put my mask back on, which I agree with, make a professional mask, and then go through the McDonald's drive-thru with it on, while saying that I'm never taking it off ever again. The number of people that took this seriously was in the tens of millions. People see the headline, assume that sounds like something that cringe guy would do, and then it's history. And the same thing happens with my TikToks. Like, almost my entire TikTok page is sarcastic, but every now and then, someone will take a TikTok of mine completely seriously. Like, I posted a video of me with the chat filter on and said no filter right after the face reveal. I made a TikTok where I take off the mask and use an ugly filter. Another TikTok where I make fun of the face leak photo, or many other sarcastic posts. But then I post a TikTok where I'm in a Walmart wearing my mask, and people take it so seriously. I get tons of hate, and it said how cringe it is that I would go shopping in my mask, that it's pathetic that I'm trying to hide my face after I already revealed it. Or I post a TikTok where I sing one of my songs, say no auto-tune, and then kiss the camera. And it's that I'm trying to be hot or think I'm such an amazing singer, instead of that I'm self-aware and playing into the cringe. I didn't watch that and go, ah, you are so cool. You are such an amazing singer, and you're also hot. Like, it's not serious. Yes, I do post cringy stuff sometimes, and I'm not trying to say that I've never been cringy, or that you can't make fun of content that is intentional.
What was that?
Sometimes. And I'm not trying to say
What
that
was
I've never
that,
been
bruh?
cringy, or that you
Bro, what is that? What is that, Dream? What you got there?
can't make fun of content that is intentionally cringy, but I've never posted anything that you could remotely say is a thirst trap or inappropriate for my audience, because as you can see in the context of all these other photos I've posted, it's not honest to single out one weird Snapchat out of context of the thousands I spam and then say that I post creepy photos. But yeah, like one photo I posted was heavily spread as a thirst trap by parody accounts, and it's this. I'm supposed to be dead. It's definitely not a thirst trap, but it's not like I was sending it to somebody and being weird. I was just spamming photos on my public story.
Oh no, George Not Found is giving him this Slopperson. Oh no.
Bruh.
No.
Like, yeah, it's goofy. It was not a thirst trap. I posted 1 or 2 photos with my shirt off ever, and this one's because I thought it was cool to see my hair comb back since it's always forward, and you can't even see me or my body. There's also this monstrosity that's frequently shared. Like,
Bruh.
this is a gross photo. I look terrible.
Why did
This
you
is
take
not a
it then,
thirst trap.
bruh?
This is a terrible photo. This is just disgusting.
Why did
I
you
was just
take it then,
spamming
bruh?
photos, didn't think much of it, and posted it. And now it will haunt me until the end of time. I'm cringy and being serious when I make satire posts. I'm full of myself when I post a normal photo. I'm gross when I post a bad photo. I'm weird when I post a silly photo. It's just people assuming the worst or just not knowing who I am, which I guess is fair. So yeah, that's what I have to say about the thirst traps thing. But obviously that's just photos. Now in terms of other stuff, I've definitely had my opinions morph over time, especially since I've face revealed and actually got to meet fans in person. But we can still talk about some old stuff that people frequently use to say that I'm weird. First of all, me calling my fan base kittens. This was a stupid tweet. If I could go back, never would have tweeted it. I completely understand that without knowing my intent.
You can't bullshit your way out of this one, man.
This was a stupid
Come on, man. You can't bullshit your way out of this one. The past 20 minutes, yeah, you can bullshit your way out of it. But this, come on, man.
tweet. If I could go back, never would have tweeted it. I completely understand that.
Of course, you would take it back if you could, because you fucked up, brother.
That without knowing my intentions or what I actually meant, it could seem super weird. The whole Discord kittens meme wasn't as big yet, and I just tweet so much, I just wasn't really thinking. It came out horribly, and I will never live this down. It is still something that my friends make fun of me for to this day. I was just trying to explain that when I say I love my audience, I don't mean in the same way that I love my friends or my family. That I mean it in the way that I love dogs,
dogs. Even though I don't know every dog personally, I can still say I love dogs. I should not have said kittens, but it's not what I meant. It was a stupid tweet. I've tweeted tens of thousands of times the last few years. It wasn't my brightest moment, but it also wasn't me trying to be weird or going kittens. It was just an analogy that I regret using. Another point of evidence.
That's not an analogy. Come on. Come on, bro. Let me find the tweet again. You are like a whole bunch of kittens, and I love you. Come on, bro. What do you mean? It was just an analogy. It was just an analogy,
My
bro.
fan base, kittens.
Come
This was a
on,
stupid
bro.
tweet. If
You didn't just call them kittens. You said I love you, all caps.
I could go back, never would have tweeted it. I completely understand that without knowing my intentions or what I actually meant, it could seem super weird. The whole Discord kittens meme wasn't as big yet, and I just tweet so much, I just wasn't.
So why didn't you use that analogy here then? You just explain that you don't love them the same way you love your family and your friends. But that doesn't mean they can't express love at all. Sus.
Thinking. It came out horribly and I will never live this down. It is still something that my friends make fun of me for to this day. I was just trying to explain that
I
when
hope
say
they
love
do.
my audience, I don't mean it in the same way that I love my friends or my family. That I mean it in the way that I love dogs. Even though I don't know every dog personally, I can still say I love dogs. I should not have said kittens, but it's not what I meant. It was a stupid tweet. I've tweeted tens of thousands of times the last few years. It wasn't my brightest moment, but it also wasn't me trying to be weird or going kittens. It was just an analogy that I regret using. Another point of evidence towards the Dream is Weird narrative was me, quote unquote, selling my baby pictures. In 2022, my merch company sold a flash drive that was Dream themed. It was going to be sold empty, and then my mom and my dad, who helped run my merch company, had the idea to put some random stuff onto the drive, so it felt more unique. I thought it was a cool idea. The content on the drive wasn't what was being sold. It was the slap wristband flash drive itself. We added some drafts of books I wrote from when I was a teenager, some memes, some old Minecraft screenshots of me and my friends, some notes and emails from teachers talking about me being rebellious in middle school, and yes, 2 pictures of me from when I was a baby. The intent wasn't at all to sell pictures of me when I was a baby, which other celebrities have actually literally done. The intent was just to show a little bit of where I'm from, like you would show pictures in a biography you would sell or something. It was my version of a little biography with writing and pictures and quotes. I think there's definitely something to be said about the concept of being in possession of a file of someone else's baby picture versus it just being in a physical book. So I totally get it, but you have to recognize that that's clearly not the intention.
That was the face. That was the face, bro.
But you have to.
That was the face, bro. That was Gumball right there. Gumball did this to you. Did he?
To recognize that that's clearly not the intention. It should be something funny or cringe to make fun of and not be a serious thing, like being about pedophilia. But yeah, I mean, as you can probably tell by the picture.
Why did he say it like that,
normal
bro?
life. I think I'm a pretty average guy, and 99% of the things I post online are extremely normal. Despite how much I put myself out there, there's only a few weird, out-of-context things to show for it, and a couple goofy photos. So yeah, I think when
looks like
people say
Shane
that I post
Dawson in
thirst
that
traps
third
or
photo.
post predatory things to my audience, they're just misinformed. I don't think that Charlie is being malicious at all.
How
It's just
far
a lot of
does this go
misinformation,
back?
And it's something I've never really made an effort.
Did y'all just
I don't
see
think
that shit,
Charlie
bro?
is being malicious at all. It's just a lot of misinformation.
Elf on the Shelf. What the fuck?
Information, and it's something I've never really made an effort to clear up. I always lean into the cringe, but when it's being used to strengthen serious allegations, that's when I kind of have to really break down
How
I
far
am.
does Ho go
Yeah, I mean, on
back?
top of all that, my audience is not as young as people think. This isn't a hill I'm gonna die on, because I know a lot of people have their minds made up or could not be convinced. Believe it or not, I have one of the oldest audiences in all of Minecraft YouTube. I started YouTube through
Shut your stupid ass up. You ain't got shit.
coding and extremely complex stuff, like reverse engineering PewDiePie's Minecraft seed. My videos, even to this day, are super long, don't have that quick retention style editing or sound effects or anything that a lot of channels do. And I also have a large pro gamer audience because my videos involve a lot of technical skill. My audience outside of YouTube is younger, but the vast majority of people I get recognized by on the street are called...
No, these numbers here are fabricated, dude. These are fabricated. No child is going to use their actual birth year on their email. This here is fabricated as fuck.
And usually dudes being like, what the f... It's Dream! On Twitch, I've covered heavy topics. In this video, I'm covering heavy topics. Me and my friends all swear on every other platform, and we're definitely not kids channels in any way. Just because I post Minecraft videos doesn't mean that my audience is just little kids. Most people that watch me either used to play Minecraft or don't even play Minecraft at all.
See, there's a difference between a target audience and the audience you have. Despite your audience being targeted towards adults, or what you're claiming, your audience is still children. So
Charlie's audience is, of course, much older than mine. But if I posted photos like these, which, to be clear, if I was ripped as hell like Charlie,
see exactly. He knows what's up. It's called the double standard, my boy. You're just not on John Wick's level, my boy. You're just not on his
100%.
level.
It would be made out to be predatory because it's me when it's not at all. And that same standard isn't applied to TikTok stars or really anyone else but me, just because I'm the Minecraft.
You
That
can't
same
compare.
standard isn't
You
applied to
can't
percent.
compare
It would be made
yourself
out to be
to Moist Critical in the slightest. He's just something else, bro.
If I was ripped as hell like Charlie, I would 100%. It would be made out to be predatory because it's me when it's not at all. And that same standard isn't applied to TikTok stars or really anyone else but me, just because I'm the Minecraft guy. A lot of the photos me and Charlie have posted are actually really similar. It's just people cherry picking goofy photos of mine and then making them out to be weird. When it's just me posting random photos because that's literally part of our job.
Okay, you
Yeah,
can't pick photo. Okay,
Me and
like I
Charlie?
said just a second ago, you can't compare.
Have posted are actually really similar. It's just
Cause look at
people cherry picking goofy
look at
photos of mine and then
no. Look at
important stuff.
him singing,
Over the last year and a half,
and then
there's
look
been
at
a bunch of
Dream
really
singing.
serious allegations
Okay?
made against me. Some of them were quickly disproved. Over the last
it's literally part of, and then making them out. And Charlie have posted are actually really similar. It's just people cherry
Look at him singing. Soul, heart, pain, sweat, tears, and the Mr. Beast logo. Look at him singing. All you see is pride, money, children, all kinds of weird shit in this guy's mind. But in his head, you just see everything. You just see, goated.
cherry picking goofy photos of mine and then making them out to be weird. When it's just me posting random photos because that's literally part of our job. Yeah, I guess that's
Also, brother.
really important stuff.
over the last year and a half, there's been a bunch of
Now our job.
Look
yeah,
at-
I guess that's all I have to say
Fuck's
about
sake, man.
random photos because that's
Look at him, right? And then look at him. Which one looks like a pedophile? Did you say Dream? Cause like I don't know, bro. You just look like you're not what I'm
literally
saying. You
part of our
just
job.
look
Yeah, I guess that's all I have
like
to say about
it.
that.
Now to move on and talk about some really important stuff. Over the last year and a half, there's been a bunch of really serious allegations made against me. Some of them were quickly disproved, others admitted they were lying, but there's still some that I'm gonna address in this video. The first allegation made against me was pretty quickly discarded. It was an allegation of flirting and had some inconsistencies. I'm still taking it seriously though and don't want to overlook anything, so I'm gonna talk about it now. The first ever allegations against me that were spread pretty far were made the day after my face reveal, on October 3rd, 2022. A girl named
that's-
Anastasia tweeted out, "He's only face revealing because he's scared that I'll do it first." And then she followed it up by tweeting, "I'm too tired / real life struggling to get involved, but the YouTuber trending right now already face revealed to me years ago when he was flirting with me when I was a minor." Obviously, because of my face reveal, it took off, pointing out inconsistencies, asking questions, and so on. I didn't have any inappropriate contact with this person. I didn't have any sexual contact with this person. I hardly even remember who this person is at all. And the only messages I could even find with this person were friendly Twitter DMs. And even in those Twitter DMs, I mentioned that they had 18 in their bio, which they contradict. I definitely didn't face reveal to them. That's an obvious lie. Almost nobody knew what I looked like at all before my face reveal. Not even most of my best friends that had known me my entire life, let alone someone I don't even remember talking to at all. She posted a screenshot of some texts
If they don't know you, if they don't even know what you look like, they ain't your best friend, bro.
and claimed that they were from me. She showed a screenshot of my TikTok being from your contacts to try and prove that the texts were from me, which people quickly pointed out isn't possible because I have a Google Voice number hooked up to my TikTok, which isn't iMessage like the text. And again, she never claimed any sexual misconduct. She never claimed anything related to nudity or sexting. This was also in early 2020, and she had 18 in her bio. With everything and all the inconsistencies, wasn't taken that seriously. But it's still worth noting because people still somehow say this is one of 3 victims of mine. So yeah, before talking about the next allegation, I just want to address something that I think is pretty important. I see some people say, why respond to fans at all? Or that it doesn't matter what Dream said. The fact that he responded to
You can respond to fans, right? Say they're in your community tab or they're in your YouTube comment section. Respond to them, you know what I'm saying? They're the fans. They give you their money. But when they DM you on Instagram or Twitter or something, and you answer it, and they're a child, bro, because technically social media ain't even really for children. They shouldn't even have Instagram or Twitter. And when you answer them, it makes you look sussy.
to a fan is creepy. And
Makes
people
you look
saying
like a
that are
baka, a
missing
sussy
little bit
baka,
of
my
nuance.
boy.
First of all,
A
back when I
little
started
chomo,
YouTube
a
in
little kitty
2019,
diddler, you know what I'm
obviously I had
saying,
a very
bro?
small community.
Crazy.
Even moving into mid 2020 before the Dream SMP, it's very common that when you have a smaller community, you're trying to grow your community. And part of how you do that is by interacting with people and responding.
No,
and being
no,
active.
no,
Kinda like-
no, no. Dream, you shut up. Look at this. Dream, shut up. You don't. No. Okay, I'm starting to really hate this. He said, why ever respond to a fan? Well, when you have a small community, you have to grow it by engaging with your community. Not through DMs, boy. That is just sus.
Has been pretty active in my community, and when I was really small, I used to respond to just about literally everyone that DM'd me, even if it was just one-word answers. Obviously later on, and as I grew, I replied less and less, and things evolved over time with my fan base growth. Like, as an example, when I started my public Snapchat in 2019, I ran the account, but in early 2020, because I was growing, I completely passed the reins off to someone else, and pretty much never logged into it ever again.
Hi, I would like to remain anonymous, so I'm just going to be calling myself Rebecca.
That's probably
I
her
used to
name.
run Dream Snapchat starting in 2020. and
She's
it got
probably
to
a victim
probably
too. We
around a
probably
year,
gave her
and I would,
hush
like,
money.
read through all
Hush
the
money.
messages, and I'd
This is
screenshot
all
art
alleged, by the way. This is
or
all
leave
alleged.
comments,
So
and I
Dream,
would
don't come
respond
after
as
me.
appropriate. There is definitely nothing weird going on this account. Dream hardly even logged into it, and it was mainly me. He never used it inappropriately, and although I no longer work for Dream, I am not aware of him ever acting inappropriate with fans or anyone underage.
Most, if not all, of the Snapchats I've posted since then have been through the manager account feature, meaning I use my normal Snapchat and post to my other account like a story, without even ever logging in or seeing any messages. I think that when people talk about messaging or becoming friends with a fan, most people are thinking of a stan or a super obsessive fan, because what makes you a fan? Having watched one video, 2 videos, 10, being subscribed? There's levels to it. My point being that when you're talking about messaging someone and it being weird, there has to be a weird dynamic. Obviously, a streamer that's subscribed to me and has watched my videos in the past and DMs me should not be looked at the same as a random person that does the exact same thing. I've had fans of mine turn into friends of mine, but I don't go seeking out friendships with people who have obsessions with me. There's a difference between a fan of mine who reacts to my videos because they're entertaining and makes some content about me because that's what gets views that I end up becoming friends with, than a random stan that posts thirst edits of me. Obviously a massive difference. There's a difference between a random stan in your Twitch chat that watches every stream because they love you, and a regular viewer that's in your community because they have common interests with you that you end up becoming friends with. And at that point, they're no longer a fan. They're a friend.
What is
Community
this?
because Twitch
What are
chat
these?
that
What are
watches
the? What are these irrelevant clips that he's playing? It's like he ran out of footage and was just like, "Fuck it, let's just steal a clip. Let's just steal this, descaled video of Jay Schlatt that was probably screen recorded off of OBS directly, based off of the fucking staticky pixels."
every stream because they love you, and a regular viewer that's in your community because they have common interests with you.
Marcia's best friend suggested that she watch this idiot playing video games. Yeah. I'm charmed by the wit of said idiot, so she decided to contact him over email. Wow. Wow, bro. So he found her through an email, bro. Email, and he got coochie through an email.
That you end up becoming friends with. And at that point, they're no longer a fan. They're a friend. And in some cases, becoming some of the most beloved couples on the internet. My point is that there's a lot of nuance. I think it's a responsibility of a creator to be able to recognize dynamics, avoid any weird ones. You can't just look at the fact that somebody follows you or has watched a couple of your videos and write them off as, oh, they're a fan, therefore we can have no conversation. I was also fans of a lot of my friends before I became friends with them. A lot of people that I ended up hiring as editors or artists or really anything are fans. And then of course you can become friends. Again, the whole point is that there's a lot of specifics to it. You can't just write somebody off completely. But again, that's fan.
Yes, if they're an adult fan, fuck it, work with them, become friends with them. But when they're like a fucking 16, 15-year-old texting you being like, hey, I watch your content, you don't respond, bro. You don't respond to it. And he probably did. Damn, it's empty. I thought it had candy in it still.
So that's not stands. Otherwise, moving back to the next very important thing. Now, the second allegation is what I'm going to talk about in extreme detail. Second allegation came out soon after the first and said that the first allegation was why they were sharing their story. It was from a girl that claims that when she was 17, we inappropriately messaged. This did not happen. Let's get into the details. On September 23rd, 2020, Amanda messaged me from her personal Instagram account, sending a message that was clearly a fan message. She thanked me for saving her life, and I replied to this message. In September of 2020, I was a lot smaller than I am now, so I got a lot less DMs, and I was much more active in like the fan communities and replying to people. And all I replied was, "Oh, thank you for the kind words." And then I also replied, "Glad to make you smile," after she followed up with the message. I put a transcript of every Instagram message that I've ever sent her, linked in the description. It might not be every message that she sent me.
Oh, it might
because
not be
there's
every
proof that
message.
She deleted Instagram messages to me. An old TikTok of hers has messages from me that wasn't in her post with the accusations when she showed our messages, but my transcript tried to include those and piece it together. But again, it might not be all of them because I don't know what she deleted. I only know what she deleted from the thing she accidentally showed in her old TikTok of the deleted messages. Amanda, on the other hand, how are you doing, Dream? September 25th, the next day I replied, "I'm good, thank you. How are you?" Amanda, the same day, replied, "I'm doing okay. Could be better, could be worse. Thank you for asking." Amanda replied, "How's your kitty doing? I love cats." I replied and said she's doing amazing. September 28th, so 3 days later, Amanda said, "Dream, I need some advice. I'm trying to become a small streamer
September
Oh,
is
on Twitch.
really
I'm
a
not single
bad
person
month,
joining my
huh?
streams. How do I get an audience?" October 2nd, so a few days later, I replied and said, "Try and play with your friends maybe, post clips to Reddit and stuff." And then she replied and said, "Okay, thank you," with a heart. The next day she messaged me again and said, "Dream, would you ever consider playing Among Us with me?" XD. I guess this was during the Among Us craze. We're still in 2020. October 5th, 2020, I replied, "Maybe," heart. Amanda said, "LL, I'll take the maybe. That would be sick." I didn't reply. This is a month and a little bit later. Amanda said, "Hi, Dream." And then she sent another message that was deleted after she made the allegations. But we don't know what it was. We only know the last couple characters. And again, we only know it exists because she messed up and included it in an old TikTok of hers. And then I replied and later and said hi.
She
Amanda
messed
said, "How
up.
are you?" November 16th. So that's another.
I'm
couple days
hyper
later.
analyzing
Good,
everything
good.
he's
How about
saying.
you? She replied and said, "I'm pretty good, thank you." November 30th, so like 2 weeks later, Amanda said, "Hi Dream, I want to actually become a streamer like you and your friends. I'm just so uneducated on what supplies I need. Can you recommend me all the products I need to successfully stream, like computer, cam, mic, headset, etc.? You have no idea how I would
She
appreciate
basically
it."
named
December 5th,
everything.
2020. So like a week later, I replied and said, "Almost everything I have was recommended by Bad Boy Halo. Haha." Amanda replied and she sent another message that she deleted after she made the allegations. That again, we won't know what it was. December 26th, so almost.
That's weird. When it seems like every time he's trying to prove that he's not a pedophile, there's pieces of information missing. Or just weird convenient moments. That's weird.
A month later, Amanda sent a video. We don't know what the video was. I don't think it was opened. I don't know though. I didn't reply. January 5th, Amanda said again, "Hi Dream, I just want to say happy late New Year and Merry Christmas. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished this year. I hope I am fortunate enough one day to be as successful as you. If you could tell me what kind of computer you have, that'd be great." January 16th, so 11 days later, I replied, "Thank you." Amanda replied, deleted message.
Is he just not gonna answer her questions, or are these comments or messages that were sent afterwards out of context? It feels out of context because the context is gone.
How are you? But obviously
How does he know that there's even emoji there? Why didn't he put what emoji it was? See, there's a lot of discrepancies, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little bit of proof of some vicious crimes, you know what I'm saying?
reply. April 13th, so a long time later, Amanda messaged me again and said hi. I replied hi. Amanda said, "How are you?" I said, "Decent. How are you?" She said, "I'm all right, thank you." Then she said, "I heard some snippets of the song you're working on and I really like it. You have a really nice singing voice." I replied on April 14th, "Thank you." So that was the next day. She said, "You're welcome." And then December 26th, so that was like a long time later, she messaged me and said, "Merry late Christmas," heart. I didn't reply. January 10th, she messaged me and said, "Hi, my Snapchat was banned and I have no friends. How are you?" I replied 2 days later and said, "How TF does a Snapchat get banned?" Amanda replied and said, "I'm pretty sure it's because I posted videos of me smoking, but all my memories from 2014 are gone. So sad." I replied the next day and said, "Damn." And then she replied that same day and said, "Yeah, it sucks. How are your holidays?" I replied the next day and said, Good. How about you?" And then Amanda replied that same day and said, "Pretty good." You may be wondering at this point, why are you replying to her?
Exactly.
Well, Instagram has a really stupid feature that makes it so that once you've replied to someone's DMs once, you can't remove their ability to personally message you unless you block them. You cannot be following them. You can delete them from your inbox.
That's
They
when
can
you
still message.
That's when you block them, goofy. Like, bro, or you just delete. You can literally. Hold on, bro. I'm about to show you Dream. I'm about to show you something really cool. Hold on. Oh, dude, how convenient. I already have Instagram open. Or was it Snapchat? Hold on.
Unless you block them. You can reply to someone's DMs once. You can't remove
Yeah,
their
it was Insta. Watch this shit, bro. Let me find a random person. Like, you come over here to a chat head. When you highlight it, you can literally mute messages. Mute messages, meaning you won't get them. Or you can straight up hit delete. And guess what? You can delete them. And then if you hit delete, they're gone. And then you never have to deal with them again, Dream. Like, quit faking shit, bro.
Their ability to personally message you.
Like, what's
Unless
up?
you
What's
block
wrong
them,
with you,
you cannot
Dream?
be following them. You can delete them from your inbox. They can still message
Or you can
and pop up in
unfollow
your
them and they won't ever
I'm showing an
text you
example
again.
on screen of my DM continuing to pop up on my alt account just to show how it works. Obviously, given I replied to Amanda back in 2020 when I had a much smaller community, she was stuck in my inbox for the rest of time. You can temporarily delete someone from your inbox and it deletes all of your message history to them for you, but they can still message you with now a blank DM history. So at one point, wanting her to stop DMing me, I swiped her out of my inbox multiple times. It's actually completely provable that I did do this. I'm showing a video of my Instagram DMs to Amanda now, where they start in December of 2021, much later than her original DMs. Because you can't delete other people's individual messages and you can only delete entire conversations, this proves 100% that I was trying to delete her ability to message me in 2021.
That's when you unadd her. You had her followed. You were following her, you know what I'm saying? And when you followed her, she had the ability, you were basically friends on Instagram. You know what
It
I'm
also
saying?
shows a problem. The only messages that I can see from Amanda were from December 2021 onward. I had no context or recollection of her original messages to me that made it clear that she was a really big fan. I don't remember everyone that messages me, who they are, where I know them from, so on. She messaged me from her personal Instagram, had no connections to any fan accounts, didn't send me any more fan messages, and she had DM'd me many times talking about content creation and streaming, some of which she deleted. She seemed very normal, friendly, and implied strongly that she was overage. What I thought about her age doesn't matter that much because nothing inappropriate happened, but it does matter to show my mindset because I don't go around befriending underage girls or people that are obsessed with me or my content. To the best of my knowledge, she was neither. Continuing with the transcript, now we get to the very end, which was our first real conversation. This one was about music, which makes sense. It's something I'm really passionate about. At the time, I was working on a song called Trust Issues and some other random music projects, and in the middle of us talking about music, I gave her my Snapchat. I said, add me on Snapchat.
Huh, that's pretty sus, man. That's pretty sus. He even put the add me on Snap, AMOS. What the fuck?
She said, sure thing, just added you. I was sharing music snippets with a bunch of people at the time, and as we were talking about music, I wanted to share them with her. And I'm obviously not going to send snippets of a new song over Instagram. Now, I've pretty much always used Snapchat as one of my main forms of communication. It was actually the first social media I ever got because a friend of mine wanted to start a streak with me. And it's something I started using a lot more when I became faceless on YouTube. Because yeah, stuff is deleted. You don't have to stress over people analyzing or leaking everything you say. And for me, even for something as simple as
You
a
can
picture
still
of my
save.
cat,
You can still
people used
save
to
shit
zoom
on
into my
there.
cat's eyes to look at the reflection to try and dox me. This was not uncommon at all. So of course I felt much more comfortable using Snapchat during this period, especially with people that I wasn't great friends with, but even with my best friends. Now let's go over her actual claim during this period.
Dream, you're over fucking reacting. They can't tell what your fucking face looks like through a cat's eyeballs. They're just gonna get your silhouette.
Especially with people that I wasn't
All they're gonna get is like the fucking hat you're wearing.
great friends with, but even with my best friends. Now let's go over her actual claims in detail. Amanda claims that after I added her on Snapchat on January 17th, 2022, that we started sexting. She showed that her birthday, when she would turn 18, is on February 17th, exactly a month later. She claims that we sexted from around the 17th of January, the day I added her on Snapchat, to the 10th of February, and then that it stopped. She said that while she was still underage, we exchanged nudes. Her evidence of this was 2 photos of supposedly me from after she was 18 complimenting her. Her final important claim was that she traveled to Orlando in August and that we planned to meet up and have sex. And I just want to make sure that I blatantly deny this before continuing. None of this is true. And now I'm going into more detail. Now, unfortunately, because she didn't provide any proof of these things, it's difficult to be specific about some of the things she claimed. It's much easier to completely make up that something happened than it is to prove that it never did. Like if I said right now, prove to me 100% that you never sexted a specific person that you've had on Snapchat at any point, it would be impossible to do. But what I can do is lay out all the inconsistencies, talk about the proven lies, the specifics, point out questions that were never asked, and provide all of the evidence that I have.
No, the way you prove it is by never having them in your contact list in the first place. Dumbass.
And I believe that luckily, that's way more than enough. So first, I want to talk about the timeline. Every contact we've ever had with each other before January 17th is the Instagram DMs, which I just read to you, which are now all public in their entirety in the description of this video, other than the messages that she deleted. She claims that sexting started around January 17th.
I'm pretty sure sharing DMs on the internet is illegal. So you could have just straight up sued her then.
That sexting stopped February 10th.
So from the 17th to maybe February 10th is the time frame where we were sexting.
So even if we say that it started a couple weeks before it stopped, you'd have to believe that every message you've just seen, we went from that to sexting days later in 2022 before my face reveal. Even if you want to give her the maximum benefit of doubt and say that she confused the timeline, she turned 18 on the 17th, 1 week after she claimed the sexting stopped. So there's not much leeway. Secondly, we can talk about her Twitter. She tweeted out defending me from hate on my face reveal 10 days before the allegations, and was liking my tweets, including a subscriber milestone tweet 2 days before she tweeted her allegations. With the timing of the face reveal and her allegation, my belief is that there was a lot of hate and that it's easy to get spiteful and join in on a hate train. I had ignored multiple of her Instagram DMs and Snapchat messages in recent months, and I had also made a new Snapchat that I didn't add her on. I still used my old Snapchat occasionally, but I just rarely responded. That's my only real explanation for why she flipped so quickly from being publicly positive to me to lying about me, but I guess I'll never really know. Thirdly, the only photos she showed as proof that I groomed her were both pictures from based on her own evidence after she was 18, meaning even if we give her the benefit of doubt and assume everything she's provided is real and truthful, she was 18 when these messages would have been sent, and I had no context to the fact that she was more than a small streamer. But on top of that, I unblocked her Snapchat, went through our Snapchat chats, and couldn't find either of the messages that she was talking about. I also downloaded all of our Snapchat logs using the Snapchat data tool, which she can do as well, and neither of the compliments that she showed were in the logs. Now honestly, this is pretty useless information because there's almost no messages in the logs at all, but it's still extremely weird that she was asked for these logs many times. It takes 5 minutes to download, and she never did it. Probably because it doesn't support what she was saying. On top of those things, from everything she had told me, she was 19.
I love how he had to put the little disclaimer, or he had to put the little moment where he's like, even if this did happen, she would have been 18 at the time. It's like, dude, what the fuck? What is wrong with you, bro? You did it. Like, just stop lying.
And we had no one
allegedly.
Don't
come after me.
Would be a 22-year-old creator calling a 19-year-old streamer gorgeous on a birthday post while giving her a gift card as a birthday present. Finally, she said that we planned to meet up and have sex in August when she was in Orlando.
It was suggested that we meet up and have sex. I was either going to have him come to the resort I was at, or he was going to pick me up and bring him to his house.
First of all, this was before my face reveal. I did not leave my house. I was massively paranoid. I was not meeting up with a random person I had just met 2 months before my face reveal, let alone at a resort, which is what her claim was. I'm gonna go ahead and play a phone call with my mom just to give you some perspective from before my face reveal. How many times do you think that I left the house between 2021 and my face reveal?
Wow, I don't know, 3? Maybe 4.
What did I leave the house for whenever I left the house?
Well, I know you went to the dentist 3 times, and then I think one other time was when you had the kidney stones. So
oh yeah, you're the hospital.
I think those were the only times you left the house, and we were worried because we didn't want you to call 911 because we didn't even know if they would come because of all the fake swattings and everything. So I had to come get you and take you to the hospital. So it was probably 5 times that you left.
Okay, what was the process when we did leave the house? What was the process like?
Crazy. I pulled into the garage, shut the garage door. You would get in the back seat, way back of the van, with a blanket over yourself, and you wouldn't come out from under the blanket until we were on the highway.
I was a little paranoid.
A little bit.
What was the inside of the house like? What precautions did we take?
Oh my gosh, it was like a cave. Every window was covered, even the high windows that were arches. We had to like tape curtains over them so that even a drone wouldn't be able to see in. Everything was covered. Yeah, so we had the banker come to the house because you wouldn't go out of the house, but we needed to set up bank accounts. Whatever it was that needed to happen, we were the ones that did it so that you didn't have to go out.
Okay, thank you, Mom.
You're welcome. I love you.
Love you too. Bye. Again, as you can probably tell, what she claims definitely didn't happen. Either she's telling the truth and her story makes sense, or she's not. and it doesn't. Now, some other stuff to note. After her allegations, she deleted a lot of evidence. She unliked a lot of tweets she had liked. She deleted replies of hers on Twitter and TikTok that hurt her credibility or contradicted what she was saying. She deleted Instagram DMs to me and only got caught because she accidentally showed them in an old TikTok of hers, and that's all completely factual and documented. Later, she was bragging on TikTok, calling people doubting her jealous, saying, "I'm gorgeous and my favorite YouTuber thought so too. It's giving jealous." Not treating the serious situation that she claimed happened seriously at all. People also found old tweets of hers where she was replying very inappropriately to other streamer friends of mine. She was even banned in one of my friend's chats for saying she wanted to sit on his face. These accounts weren't linked to her Instagram, so I would have had no idea about them. She also replied to fans of mine questioning her with slurs. She also said that she was gonna lie and tell me that she was 18, but that she changed her mind, I guess.
So I was going to lie and tell him I was 18.
She said she would provide proof of the fact that she told me she was 17 and that I still sexted her tomorrow.
But I didn't, and that proof will come out tomorrow.
And guess what? She never posted proof, because this never happened. She tweeted out thanking people for all the support and claimed at the end that I deleted our DMs, right as she tweeted this. And specifically said, my end too, which means her DMs too. Well, I just want to point out that this is impossible. There's not a single mainstream social media platform that lets you delete both people's messages. And we only had each other on Instagram and Snapchat, where you can't do that on either. She claimed that she was laughing and was going to prove people wrong with pictures of my penis, to which, again, never happened. Lastly, she tweeted,
I'm tired of hearing this buffoon talk. I'll see you on the next one.